Hey guys, welcome back to Wood Street Farm. This machine is on loan from Reaves Timber, who, if you saw my video a week or two ago, I was at Richmond Expo, which is it's a show for people in the forest products industry. So they had all sorts of machinery and vendors there for anything timber related. So everything from forest management, harvesting, excavating, grading, sawmills, and firewood processing, and everything like that. So met up with Roy at that show, who's the owner of Reaves Timber, and he showed me this machine at the show. We did a little walk around. The challenge with the shows is that they only have a limited number of logs on site, and if they're going to be there for 2 or 3 days straight, they're going to be showing their equipment to a lot of people. The demo that you get there on site is only a few cuts. So Roy was generous enough to offer to loan me this machine so we can really put it through its paces with different types of wood, different sizes of wood, and try to really figure out what the machine's pros and cons are. So this machine is the Halverson HWP-100-TR. TR just means trailer. They make the HWP-100 and 120 and other models. It's basically the same machine, but it mounts on the front of a skid steer, and it doesn't have the trailer, it doesn't have the engine, because the skid steer provides the hydraulics to do everything that the machine needs to do. So if you want the overview of this machine's core features, then you should take a look at the other video that I did at the show, and Roy gave us a full walk around of all of its specs and all of its features. What I'm really focused on here today is using the machine and trying some different wood on it, and starting to figure out, maybe is this a machine that would be good for my operation as a step up, or maybe a side step from the wolf ridge that I have today. One of the core benefits of a processor is that you don't need to saw each piece of wood on the ground or away from your splitter, because it has the built-in saw. I can already feel here today, even though it's hot and I am still sweaty, I don't feel nearly as fatigued as I usually do cutting wood, because I don't need to saw every single piece and pick every single piece up and get it on the splitter. And that's the main benefit of a processor. So what we're putting through the machine today is a lot of smaller stuff. The last load of wood that I got had a lot of smaller stuff in it. So we've got 4 to 7 inch pieces here. And on the back of the stack over here, I've got some that are upwards of 8 to 10 inches, but still pretty small stuff is everything that we're running through the machine today. I think tomorrow I'll probably get through all of this, and then we can start to look at some of the bigger stuff and test how large of a log can this machine take. Well, I got a little bit of wood done today. Starting to get a feel for the machine. Obviously, we ran a lot of small stuff through it today. Tested it a little bit with a couple of those larger logs. I didn't put a tape measure on it, but they were 10, maybe upwards of 12 on the largest ones. And if those larger blocks had significant knots in them, this thing wouldn't bust through it. So what I started to do is just put a little stack of those off to the side. I still use the processor to cut it to length and then just put a stack off to the side, and we'll run those through the wolf ridge later. In my head, I was thinking that's probably the most efficient way to do it. I could have lowered the wedge down so that it was just a single knife and busted those blocks up and then resplit them, and I felt like that would probably just take a little bit more time. Handling resplits on this is a little bit different than the wolf ridge because there's no table to catch the splits and help you, give you room to sort through the pieces and determine what needs to be resplit. So I'm still thinking about how best to work through that. I think, you know, as I see a piece that needs to be resplit, and this is what I did today, I was just grabbing those and going ahead and resplitting it if it was accessible. As the pile got larger, it encroached on my feet and I actually had to climb onto the pile a little bit to get the pieces that needed to be resplit. So it's just a little clunky, I would say. If we had a table, and if we had a table with a conveyor, I think that would make the process of managing the resplits a little bit better. But you guys, if you've followed me for a little while, you know I split the wood a little bit small too, because I sell primarily to the recreational burners who just want a nice little pretty fire for a couple hours in either their fireplace or their fire pit. And I generally don't sell to people who heat with wood. That's why I don't do any really big pieces. So everything that's in there that's, you know, bigger than, I say, like a 4x4 post, then I go ahead and resplit it because that's just what my customers tend to want, and it also dries out faster, which then I can turn it over and sell it. So if there's something you guys want to see on this splitter, you want to see it do, you want to learn about, you want to know more about, let me know in the comments. I've got this just for a little while. I'm going to make a couple more videos with it, but you guys can help determine what some of those videos are about if you put your feedback in the comments. So that's it for today, guys. I appreciate it. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.